Hi everyone, hope you're doing good. Welcome to the next video on this YouTube channel. My name is Saurabh Bharti, Microsoft Dynamics 365 professional. This is my YouTube channel where I come and share my knowledge and experience with you all. So without further delay, let's start the today's topic. So today we are going to discuss about one of the uh, important topic from the number sequence perspective, and that is the chronological number sequence in Microsoft Dynamics 365. So what is chronological number sequence in Microsoft Dynamics 365? So in some countries there is a legal requirement to have some documents and the vouchers in a chronological order, and these number sequences should be supported by your fiscal periods which you have in Microsoft Dynamics 365. So what I mean by the chronological order and the supported by the fiscal period in Microsoft Dynamics 365 is that if I have a number sequence which is for the year 2023, then let's say you have a prefix of 2023 in that number sequence, and when you move to the next year 2024, then automatically based on the transaction date which will fall under the next year, the system should start generating the number in for that particular year having the prefix or whatever the number sequence you define for that particular year. So that means system is generating the numbers based on the chronological order defined by the fiscal period. It can be a month or it can be year or quarter or half yearly, anything. So in Dynamics 365, all the number sequences are not supported by this chronological functionality which we have. There are certain set of documents or the vouchers which are supported by this functionality, and here is the list of those documents. So we have the account receivable as one of the biggest list here, and it is very obvious that why we have number sequence for account receivable more, because it's a customer facing module where we generate a lot of customer facing documents. Okay, we generate different types of invoices. So these are the documents for which we can define the chronological order based on month or year depending on your requirement. And in accounts payable we have couple of number sequences like invoice voucher. So when we post the purchase order invoice, so there is also a invoice voucher which gets generated, a credit note voucher. And why we don't have the invoice number for the supplier? Because that is not in our control. That number is generated by the supplier, so we have to capture as it is. But the voucher against that invoice is generated within Dynamics 365, so we can control that. Product receipt voucher, when we post the product receipt against the purchase order. And then you have number sequences for the project management for both invoice and the credit notes. Right, so these are the different numbers, the different documents for which this chronological or number sequence order is supported in Microsoft Dynamics 365. So now let's move to the demo, how it works in D365. So let's see how we can define the configuration and how we can use them further. Okay, so I'm going to use the example of the free text invoice. And my scenario is that my customer wants the free text invoice number generated based on the year prefix. So if I'm generating the free text invoice in the current year, then it should have a prefix, let's say 23. But if I generate the invoice for year 24, then it should have the prefix as or the suffix as 24. Okay, so that is what I need to generate using this chronological number sequence functionality in D365. So without further delay, let's move to the system and see how it works. Now for this demo, what we will do, we will go to organization administration and we'll go to the number sequences. And here what I have done is that I have created two number sequences, one for the year 23 and one for the year 24. Okay, how I have created the number sequence? It is simple number sequence. So I have given the number sequence code, I have selected the company as a scope, and I have defined the prefix here as IFT23 and then the digit. Okay, so this is what I have created here. Okay, so this is the first step, that create the number sequences which you require for the specific periods and for that specific document. So if you are also creating for the sales order invoice or credit note, you should create for that. Project invoices, project credit note, you should create for that. Purchase order invoice voucher or the credit note voucher or the product receipt voucher, so you should create for that as well. Okay, now next thing what we need to do is that we need to navigate to the module for which we are creating this number sequence. So we will go to the account receivable, and I'll go to the setup, and then I need to go to account receivable parameters, and under the parameters I will have to navigate to the number sequences, and here I need to select the document for which I want to create the chronological order number sequence, right? So I'm going to define for free text invoice. So I select this, and on top of the free text invoice you will see that there is a group option which has been enabled. So what I'll do is that I'll click on the group here, and now here if you see there are already the groups are there, but I can create my own group here. So let's say if I create 23 as one of the group. Okay, so I will save this. So now once this is done, what I can do is that against the free text invoice I can select my number sequence which I want. Now what you can do is, like, you can create only one group 23, and if you want multiple documents where you want to define the year specific number sequence, so you can define all the number sequence. So let's say if you also want to define for credit note, vouchers, packing slip, and other documents which you have, right? So if you want to define for everything, you can just create one group and define all your number sequences. Now I need to create another group as well, 24, because I want to have the number sequence for the 24 fiscal year separately. So I will define for the new number sequence group 24, and here I will define my another number sequence which I want to have it here. Okay, so now what we have done here is, after creating the number sequence, now we have mapped those number sequence based on the grouping of the year. Okay, so I have created one group for 23, one group for 24, and I have mapped that number sequence against a specific transaction type for that particular module. So that is what I have done till now. Okay, now once this is done, there is one question which is unanswered here, is that now how system is going to identify based on the date that I should pick up 23 group numbers or I should pick up the 24 number sequence, right? Now for that, what you need to do is that you need to go to organization admin again. Under the number sequence, you have got the chronological number sequence grouping. So you need to navigate here. Now here, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to map those number sequences with the effective date. So let's say now the 23 number sequence I want to have from 1st January 2023 to the December 31st. Okay, and what is the group I want to map? 23. Okay, similarly I will map for 2024 January 1st to December 2024 for the another group. Okay, and this is how system is going to identify that if I am having the date between this date range, then it should pick up the number sequence from this group, and if I am having any date within this date range, then system is going to pick up this number sequence. Okay, so hope this is clear. Now it is possible that some countries already have these functionalities available for generating the number sequences. So for example, I know in India we have some number sequence for the GST invoices. Okay, now in that case, if the country localization has any specific number sequence defined for the chronological order, right, then that functionality will override this particular configuration. So which means the country specific feature will be used, not this particular feature. Okay, so hope that is clear. So now that's it for this configuration. Now what we need to do is that let's go and check whether our free text invoice which we are generating is working as per this number sequence or not. So what we will do, we will go to the all free text invoice and we'll try to create two invoices, one for the year 23 keeping the date and one for the year 24. Okay, so I'm going to create a new invoice here. I'm going to select any customer for just for the example here, and right now I will keep the date as 23 as it is. So I will say test 23 and I can select any main account here, which can be the other revenues, and I can put some values here. Okay, so now what it should do, so now we don't have the invoice generated right now here. So when we post this invoice, it should generate the number sequence with FT23 because the date range is in 2023. So let's hit the post. So our invoice is posted, and if you see, system had generated the number sequence based on FT23. Okay, now let's create another invoice where we are going to keep the date as 24 and it should generate the number sequences or with the prefix as 24. So I'm going to change the year here and I'm going to put some description. I'm going to put this, the revenues, and let's say this time we are going to put $2,000 here. I save this and I'm going to hit the post here and let's see what number it generates. So invoice is being posted. Now if you see, the number which it has generated is FT24, which means now system is generating the number sequence based on the chronological order or the number sequence specific date range which we have defined in the configuration. Now the similar process you can repeat for rest of the documents which are supported by Microsoft Dynamics 365, and you can create the number sequence or generate the number sequence from Microsoft Dynamics out of the box based on the date range or your fiscal year or fiscal period based on your requirements. Okay, so that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this content, and if you enjoy my content, if you like my videos, and I would request you to share, like and subscribe, and put your comment in the comment box if you want me to create video on any other topic. I'm going to take that request and I'll plan for that. I have received a lot of requests on different topics like management reporter series for some specific courses and the modules. So it is just to inform you that yes, I'm working on all those things and soon you will hear from me on all those topics. Okay, so that concludes today's video. I look forward to seeing you all in the next one, and thank you for watching. Until the next time, thank you.